Let's bring in Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy for more on this. So the Chicago mayor is saying she welcomes the migrants, but at the same time slamming Greg Abbott. Her office in a statement saying, unfortunately, Texas Governor Greg Abbott is without shame or humanity. We know that racism, discrimination, and human cruelty have played a pivotal role in how immigrants are received within our borders. We're still working to recover from the previous presidential administration, which encouraged this behavior. Your thoughts, Senator?
That statement is so totally divorced from reality. By the way, in Louisiana, ICE is taking people from the border, distributing them across our state, and church groups know they're coming, but oftentimes they arrive unannounced. So now it comes to Chicago, and there's a complaint from the mayor who officially welcomes this. There's just an irony here, an irony and an hypocrisy that's just on top of each other, John.
Yeah, now Greg Abbott's point, and Doug Ducey of Arizona as well, is that the federal government hasn't been doing anything to stop people from walking across the border, despite what the press secretary said, and that Texas and Arizona are going to share the burden here with other cities across the country. Mayor Lightfoot, Eric Adams of New York, Muriel Bowser, all proclaiming that they have sanctuary cities, but at the same time slamming Abbott, but not slamming the federal government, which has been flying illegal migrants to cities across the country for years.
Abbott is doing the country a favor. He is bringing this issue to the doorstep of elected officials and the people they represent. It's no longer just McAllen, Texas. If you think Chicago and New York are going to have a problem, imagine McAllen. Imagine Alexandria, Louisiana. And yet now that it goes to a city of, I don't know, 8 million people, and they get 1,000 in New York and they don't know what to do with it, it brings it home. It forces other media outlets besides Fox to acknowledge the problem.
Let me switch gears and ask you about fentanyl, because you have introduced the Halt Fentanyl Act, which would address the situation. Parents across America apoplectic that their child might get one pill over the internet, take it and die. Yet the White House doesn't seem to have a plan to address this, particularly the component where so much of this fentanyl is coming across the border.
You said shift gears. You didn't shift gears at all. Because when I went to the Border Patrol said, oh, yeah, here will come a whole bunch of folks trying to come across illegally. The cartels know that attracts our border agents, and then they sneak the drugs in over here. The amount of drugs they're sneaking is astronomical. Again, I was in central Louisiana 2 days ago. Sheriff says we just confiscated 10 pounds of fentanyl. Now, 10 pounds could kill everybody.
It doesn't sound like a lot, but
it is. When a small amount can kill you, that is a huge amount. This is part and parcel of this almost open border policy that the administration effectively has adopted.
So our Peter Ducey yesterday had an exchange with the press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, about what the federal government was doing to address this problem. She didn't seem to have a lot of answers. Listen here.
300 overdoses a day now. We know how the fentanyl is coming into the country. It's coming right across the southern border. When is the president going to do something?
You have seen a 200% increase of fentanyl seizures, which means that we are doing the job of catching drug traffickers. We are securing the border. The fact that we are securing record levels of funding from DHS so they can stop illicit drugs from entering into the country.
It's not being stopped. 300 overdoses. This is being designed to target children. Drug cartels in Mexico want to kill American kids. What is this president doing about it?
To say that we're not doing enough, Peter, is just falsely, categorically wrong.
Senator, is the Biden administration doing enough?
The number of fentanyl overdoses is increasing. That of itself is evidence that they are not. And there are other things that they could do. Again, the more that you have tools that stop people from coming over the border, you also have those tools to keep illegal drugs coming across the border. When they use everything in their toolbox to do that, I'll believe they're doing all they can.
And of course, when you see now that these fentanyl pills are coming in multicolors, they look like Smarties, they look like Sweet Tarts, clearly aimed toward children. You know, the deadly scourge that is gripping our country is just getting worse by the day. Senator, great of you to come in. Good to see you. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Joe.
Appreciate it. My best to you.